Welcome to another edition of 5 at 5. It's after another game where we've won. It's after another clean sheet. So let's get straight into it because this is going to be a positive one. So number one, and listen, let's speak about the most obvious thing that happened in that game, the match-winning goal and the build-up to that match-winning goal. With 5 at 5, often what I want to do is talk about some things that aren't really noticed in games, that really crucial parts of games that maybe you didn't realise at the time. But obviously when something like Ramsdale's save against Leicester takes place, or Emile Smith-Rowe's match-winning goal in kind of controversial fashion, obviously you've got to speak about that. So number one is definitely going to be, should we have kicked the ball back to Watford after what happened? Now, when you look at that, a Watford player goes down injured, Danny Rose kicks the ball out of play, Lacazette takes throw on. The only thing that for me slightly complicates this is that by the time Laka has gone to get the ball to take the throw on, that Watford player is already up on his feet. Now, Laka's looking around and yeah, there's no player down who needs treatment, so he gets on with the game. But I'm going to be really honest here. I think Arsenal should have given the ball back. And actually, I completely understand Claudio Ranieri being really annoyed about that. You have to always ask the question that when you're talking about something like this, you have to always ask the question, how would you feel if that happened against you? If Watford did that to us, I'd be talking about the spirit of the game. I'd be talking about, how what the culture is of football, English football, and you tend to give the ball back when someone intentionally plays it out. So look, I'm going to say it. We should have given the ball back. It wasn't very sportsmanlike that we didn't, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. It's actually something, not just that, but it's actually something that I've noticed about Arsenal, specifically in this game more than ever, because I think Watford were very physical. And I noticed Arsenal being really quite tactfully dirty in the way we played in certain fouls. And listen, trust me, Watford were doing it as well. So there's no reason why Arsenal shouldn't have done it. But I really feel like Mikel Arteta is bringing some of those dark arts that Man City are so good at. And I really saw them on display in this game. Even after the game, when he was interviewed and he was asked about the incident where we should have kicked it back, he mentioned that Arsenal actually are borderline naive. And I thought it was very interesting for him to say that, because I feel like he's probably noticed that, obviously, when he wasn't at Arsenal. And if you notice that and you come in as manager, you're going to do something to correct that. And I thought against Watford, we were very eager to make fouls before Watford were able to get on the counter-attack. If you want an example of that, go to injury time, sort of 45th or 46th minute. So injury time of the first half, and you'll see when Watford were trying to counter how many attempts at fouls there were to stop it happening. So yeah, should have given the ball back. We didn't, and we scored from it. So you know what? I don't really care, but I'll have to make sure I don't complain when it happens to Arsenal. Number two, and now see, this is going to be one of those ones where not many people will remember this moment from the game. But for me, I think it's absolutely crucial. And it's exactly the sort of thing that this whole segment is aimed to do, to kind of just highlight something that what I found surprising actually was that I'm trying to highlight something that didn't even make the highlights package. This didn't even feature on Match of the Day 2, and it was actually a goal-saving intervention. So can you guess what it is? If not, it was the 44th minute of the game. Watford, and I've just spoken about how Arsenal managed to stop Watford countering. Well, this one was actually one that slipped through the net. Watford countered. It was just after Gabriel had a header on goal that Ben Foster saved from an Arsenal corner. Play continued, and I've actually, just to kind of spell this out in more detail, I've actually taken note of the minutes and seconds that were on the clock when Ben Foster threw the ball out of his arms to set up that counter-attack, and that was 43 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, 11 seconds later, 43 minutes and 31 seconds, Emile Smith-Rowe, who was obviously in an attacking position because this was Ben Foster got the ball after a corner from Arsenal. So all of our players were advanced. 11 seconds later, Emile Smith-Rowe, he must have travelled about 80, 90 yards to do this. But he managed to just get back in the area when the ball was played across goal. Josh King was going to have quite an easy strike at goal and probably score. So if you watch it back, you'll see Emil Smith-Rowe just about connects, kind of just gets a toe on the ball 11 seconds after being all the way down the other end of the pitch. And if it wasn't for that work rate, that off-the-ball work rate, that effort and desire to make sure you're doing the right thing and putting in the hard yards, Arsenal probably would have conceded a goal there. So watch that back. It's things like that that I really like about Emil Smith-Rowe, not just his goal contribution that actually won us the game, but also what he does on the other side of things, the amount of yards he covers, how hard he works, and how honest he is in terms of doing the less attractive side of the game. So check that out. For me, that was a brilliant, brilliant moment that was gone completely underappreciated. Number 3, and listen, for me, my man of the match, and please put yours in the comments below before you hear what I've got to say. I want to know what you guys think. My man of the match was Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I spoke earlier at point 2 about the sort of dark arts and Mikel Arteta making Arsenal a little bit more inclined to stop counter-attacks and that sort of thing. And I thought no one exemplified that better in the game against Watford than Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And what I find amazing about his performance is that he has not been playing week in, week out. He's come in and he's playing centre midfield because Thomas Partey got injured. And this was against a really physical Watford team. I thought it was so obvious that there was going to be a red card in the game because of the way Watford were playing. They were committing a lot of fouls, playing in a pretty dirty manner, which I don't have too much of a problem with, provided that these tackles aren't going to cause serious injury or anything. And Maitland-Niles really, really stood up to it. Not only that, you saw that for Saka's disallowed goal, he won the brilliantly off of Sarr, I think it was. Carried the ball forward, played a lovely subtle dinked pass into Lacazette, and after that Aubameyang should have scored, but because he sort of miscontrolled it, Saka ended up scoring, but from an offside position, which was really frustrating. But all of that was from Maitland-Niles' really, really good work. And I thought all game he put himself about brilliantly and deserves a lot of credit. So he was my man of the match, and with African Nations Cup coming up, it will be great to have someone we can rely on that's already an internal solution, and hopefully that can be Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Let me know how you think he did in the comments, and put your man of the match in the comments below. Number 4, short and sweet, is yours gold? Well, listen, whoever wins the league this season, the answer's no, it's not going to be gold. Arsenal yet again hang on to an achievement that only Arsenal have ever been able to pull out the bag, and that is going the whole season unbeaten. This year, it's only taken 11 games for it to be impossible for all 20 teams in the Premier League to do what we very famously did. And with the sort of movie about Arsene Wenger, The Invincible, coming out on the 11th of November, what perfect timing for that to not be possible to match from any other team in the league this season. So listen, is yours gold? Obviously no. And now point number 5, and this is one that I've said I'm going to track. I looked at the fixture list before the Leicester game, and I looked at what I said were 6 very, very key games that are going to tell us everything we need to know about Mikel Arteta and if he's truly, truly making progress. I mean, it's amazing where we find ourselves in the league right now. We're 2 points behind Liverpool, and our next game is away at Liverpool. Can you imagine somehow if we win that game, then we are going to be ahead of Liverpool in the league table? It's just kind of crazy to think about, because it doesn't feel like Arsenal are having a great season. And, really Liverpool for me were probably the form team. Maybe now you'd say that's Chelsea, but crazy to me that we could be ahead of Liverpool if we win our next game. I know that's very unlikely, and I think the key difference when you look at the league table is goal difference. We're on 0. Liverpool are on plus 20. It tells you everything you need to know about the reality. But ultimately, when you look at Arsenal in the last 8 games in the Premier League season, we were on -9 goal difference already because of the first 3 games. So we have been good, but the goal difference ultimately, you can't take out results just to suit your own narrative. The point here is that we are 2 points behind Liverpool, and that's because out of these 6 key games, we've won our first 2. Leicester away, Watford at home. Now, Leicester I didn't expect to win. Watford I did expect to win. And now there's 4 games left. What do you think we're going to do in these 4 games? It's Liverpool away, Newcastle at home, Man United away, and Everton away. I want to know how many points you think we're going to get out of those possible 12. So far, though, 6 out of 6. It's going well. I'm done now. Next time it will be Liverpool away. That one could be very different, but I'll see you for 5 at 5 after Liverpool away. Take care.